Our future is an urban future.
Right now, more people live in cities than any other time in human history.
In the year 1800, about 2% of the world's population lived in cities. In the year 1900, about 12%. Today, we're talking about 52%. In about 35 years, in 2050, almost 70% of the world's population will live in cities.
Cities shape the world. What happens in cities doesn't stay in cities. What happens in cities goes out and spreads and impacts the broader culture. What happens in Silicon Valley today doesn't just affect the Bay Area or Northern California, but it affects our entire world.
This provides an amazing strategic missiological vision for churches and Christians wanting to do ministry in urban centers.
People tend to adopt one of two approaches to the city. Some people retreat from the city. They don't want to go into it or get near to it. While other people tend to use the city. They come to the city just to try to make their name great, just to make use of the city's resources and then move on after a few years. The Bible calls Christians to relate to the city in an uncommon way, to engage the city, to love the city, to put deep roots down in the city.
We are living in a very special moment in history. Our moment in history is very, very similar to what happened in the early church 2,000 years ago.
2,000 years ago, God built his church through cities where most of the people lived. God took the gospel through his apostles to cities, to Ephesus, to Rome, to Corinth, to Athens. And as the gospel was preached and disciples were made and churches were planted in these cities, as people did their ordinary Christian lives, these cities were changed and the surrounding regions were changed.
Could there possibly be another opportunity for that sort of resurgence of the gospel influencing our world and our cities? My prayer, my hope is that that moment will come for us.
Now is the time for Christians to take note of what's happening. Now is the time for Christians to understand this unique moment and to seize it, to love and engage their neighbor there, and to see their city changed for the glory of God, for the good of this whole world.